Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to extract the really important nuggets of knowledge, get you informed fast. Today, we're diving into something super relevant for, well, any private pilot flying in Europe, the EASA Basic Instrument Rating. You might know it as the BIR, our mission today. To really get under the hood, understand what it is, its strategic value, and why people are genuinely calling it a game changer. And we're basing this on some great insights from excerpts from the EASA Basic Instrument Rating, Bridging the VFR-IFR gap. Really lays out the importance. Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. You know, if you're a PPL holder, you've probably been there, right? Ready to go, plane's ready. But there's this, I don't know, thin layer of cloud maybe, or some haze, and boom, you're grounded. Because your VFR, visual flight rules, and you can't legally or safely push through it. This BIR thing is designed exactly for that situation.
That's right. And what's really interesting is how the source puts it. It calls the BIR an accessible pathway for PPLA holders. PPLA, meaning private pilot license for airplanes, of course, to fly IFR and an IMC, quote. So, IFR, instrument flight rules, navigating by instruments when you can't see much outside, and IMC, instrument meteorological conditions, basically, flying in those conditions. It really is about bridging the VFR-IFR gap, like the title says. That exact frustration you mentioned, where VFR keeps you down, even if the weather isn't, terrible. It just gives private pilots way more options, much more flexibility.
That sounds like a pretty big deal, a real step up in capability. Now, the source makes a point of saying it's not just a diluted IR, not just a watered down full instrument rating. So what makes it different? What gives the BIR its unique strategic value for general aviation rather than just being, I don't know, IR late?
Yeah, that's absolutely crucial. It's not just IR light. It's not like they just took the full IR and, well, made it easier with fewer privileges. The BIR is designed strategically. It gives you specific essential instrument skills that are highly relevant for typical GA flying, the kind of flying most PPL holders actually do. It focuses on safely handling common weather issues like climbing through a cloud layer after takeoff or descending through one to land, or making an instrument approach when you can't see the runway from miles out. So it boosts that operational flexibility and safety because it equips you for those situations, the ones that stop VFR flights cold. But crucially, without the huge training burden and complexity of a full, maybe commercial-focused IR, it's about being good at specific common IFR scenarios, not necessarily all IFR scenarios.
Okay, so tailored for purpose, not just stripped down. That makes sense. That operational flexibility, it sounds genuinely transformative. Can you maybe give a concrete example? Like, how does a pilot's actual planning or maybe their decision making on the day change once they have a BIR?
Well, absolutely. Think about planning a cross-country trip. Before, maybe there was a forecast for a low cloud base, say 1,000 feet, at your destination. Under VFR, that might mean canceling or diverting somewhere else last minute. Big hassle. With the BIR, you can plan for that. You can file an IFR flight plan, and you're trained to fly an instrument approach. You can legally and safely descend through that cloud layer down to the published minimums. And often you'll break out underneath with the runway right there in front of you. It just opens up your operational window massively. Fewer weather cancellations, basically. Plus, you can often fly more direct routes under IFR. You're not stuck dodging clouds or following roads, so potentially shorter, more efficient flights too.
Right, so it's not just about being able to fly in cloud, but being able to reliably get through it, or maybe fly above it to actually complete your planned flights, keep your schedule. That really does sound like a game changer for private pilots in Europe, like the source says. It really clicks when you put it like that. But are there any common misconceptions maybe, or limits people should know about compared to that full instrument rating? That's a fair question. It's important to be clear. Well, the BIR is a huge step up. It's not a complete replacement for a full IR if, say, your flying needs the whole range of instrument procedures, maybe for complex airspace, certain types of commercial work, that sort of thing. The BIR is laser focused on that basic IFR proficiency for typical GA flying. It really empowers pilots for those common scenarios that used to ground them. It builds confidence, adds a significant safety layer, lets you use your plane more reliably more often.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, the private pilot listening?
Well, the EASA Basic Instrument Rating looks like a really fundamental shift. It moves PPL holders beyond those basic VFR limits, unlocking a whole new level of freedom and safety in how you operate. It's about making your flying more dependable, more useful, and yeah, safer too.
And it leaves us with a really interesting question to ponder, doesn't it? If you're a pilot, how could getting this BIR actually transform your flying? How could it let you explore the skies with, well, maybe unprecedented flexibility and confidence. It really is more than just flying in clouds. It seems to be about flying smarter, getting more value from your license and your aircraft.